right, everybody, buckle up because Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse might just be not only the best animated film of the year, but the best film of the year. Believe the hype. So yeah, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, a film I loved very much, a film that won an Oscar for Best Animated Film, and if you ask me, should have had serious consideration for the whole enchilada, the Best Picture. But alas, you know what? This film might have to be put into that conversation. Look, I know it's a comic book movie, let alone it's an animated film, so they probably won't look at it, but I left the theater just in awe. This was such a great experience from front to back. For those of you who don't know, here's the story for this movie, and it's essentially Miles Morales is the Spider-Man of this particular universe that we focus on, and he gets kind of wrapped into a big universe, multiverse spreading conundrum involving a supervillain that he may or may not have been involved with that has a ripple effect across all these different universes where there's all these different Spider-Men. So it's up to Miles to kind of set things straight and kind of break out of a pattern that all these Spider-Verse individuals all seem to share. And I don't want to say much more without giving away a whole lot of the plot, but I will say the way this movie is constructed is very, very well done. The focus here, while yes, is heavily on Miles, it is his movie, it's also got some great side stuff with all these other Spider-Verse characters. Any amount of screen time they get is, you just want more of it. You want more of all of this universe. You want more of all of these different things going on. Like Spider-Gwen, she's got a great story in this. There's an Indian Spider-Man that I really dug. He's got a really interesting story, that we see in this film. There's Spider-Punk. There's Peter B. Parker from the last movie that we saw. He's got a fun little story. Everybody's got a fun little story. Even the biggest newcomer, which is Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099, voiced by Oscar Isaac, who does a phenomenal job in this. Everybody does a phenomenal job in this film, voicing their characters. Shameik Moore comes back as Miles. He does great. Hailee Steinfeld as Gwen does great. Jake Johnson as Peter B. Parker does great. Jason Schwartzman as the new Spider-Man villain, or the new in this version of the film, as the Spot. He's a great, fun villain. He's got great banter. All the dialogue and everything is so much fun. They got a lot of great quips in there. And since there's hundreds and thousands of these spider people, you're getting hundreds and thousands of great quips. It is so well done. The writing is so sharp. The animation for each universe they go to, they kind of change up the art style a little bit. And the way, like in the previous movie, when a different art style gets brought into a universe, they stick out like a sore thumb. And they do that so many times. It's so cool seeing all this stuff kind of, working together. And you would think on the outside, looking in, that this wouldn't really work. I kind of thought maybe that would be the case with the first one, but the first one knocked it out of the park. This one might even be better than the original. It is one of the best comic book sequels. It is, without a doubt, for me, one of the best experiences, if not the best experience I've had in a theater all year long. It's got an emotional story in the center. It's funny. And there's so much going on, but you never really get lost, which I think is a marvel in and of itself. The editing, while I did kind of feel the pacing maybe towards the end. I thought maybe it dragged just slightly, just in terms of we kind of had a great breakneck pace for a while, and then all of a sudden it just kind of petered out at the end. Haha, petered. But it works though, and I want to go back and see this again. I'm hoping to see it again this weekend with some friends, fingers crossed. But this is something that if you've never seen the first one, watch the first one and then go check this out, because it's just what they've managed to do in these two movies is up there with some of the best sequels in comic book history. Like, I saw people comparing this to this is the Dark Knight of this film franchise. And you know what? While I don't think it's as good as The Dark Knight, because The Dark Knight is my personal favorite movie of all time, this is, and it's not hyperbole, I think it is one of the best comic book sequels ever made. It has everything in it that you would want, from characterization and the drama around the characters, all that sort of stuff, to fun, great, creative action. This has, without a doubt, some of the greatest editing I've seen in a film. Like, the way everything kind of flows into each other. Like, somebody had to plan that, and it's bonkers how good and well thought out some of this stuff is. Because when you're hopping universes, or when you're traveling through these complicated cityscapes or inner workings of places, it's mind-boggling how much they had to think through and plan this stuff out. It is just utterly incredible. Even if you're not a fan of these, and I can understand that there might be some people who are turned off by animated, superhero movies and think they're for children, but I just think the marvel of everything in this, the sheer thought and construction of everything here from start to finish is near flawless. The few things, that I could say were flaws, in quotes, because they're not really flaws. It's just maybe they weren't 100%. Like, it was like 90%. Like, the music, I dug about 90% of the music in this film. I thought they knocked that pretty much out of the park. Like, I found myself toe tapping several times. I had really good needle drops, and stuff really bled in with what was happening in the film seamlessly, that it worked, and I dug it. Like I said, the editing darn near flawless. Maybe towards the end, I feel like the pacing slowed down. Other than that, almost perfect. The direction, got to give these guys all the credit in the world. There are 3 directors with this, which for an animated movie would make me a little concerned that there are 3 people having to do this. But when you see this film, you might understand why they would need 3 different people to kind of oversee a project like this. And the results are there. And in the end of the day, I'm giving this film my highest grade of the year, which is a solid A. It's... I almost got up to the A+ range, but there were just a few things, maybe upon a repeat viewing, this might even jump up higher. But as of right now, this is the best thing I've seen this year. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. What about you guys? Are you into the animated Spider-Man universe with Miles Morales? Are you excited for this movie? Are you going to go see it? Let me know down in the comments below, guys. And as always, if you could please hit that like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, hit the little bell notification to be notified whenever I drop new videos. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, guys, this is going to be a great month of movies. I can already tell. We got so much coming, and I'm so excited to give my thoughts on them and hear your guys' thoughts as well. And until the next review, I'll be seeing you.